Hey, Theatremakers! Welcome to our last session! I can't believe it! I'm so glad to have one more virtual time with you, and I'm sad that this process is coming to an end, but I'm excited that we made it through these 4 weeks of exploration of what it's like to create theater and story in a virtual space, and what it's like as well to use theater as a practice of self-care. I hope that it's been meaningful for you. I hope this last session will be meaningful for you. I hope you continue creating. I hope you continue figuring out ways to be in relationship with PASA and with me if you want to talk more about theater and creative practice. I would love it. And we'll spend some time toward the end of this session just reflecting together and taking a moment for gratitude before we leave. But first, as always, and for the last time, we will start with our opening breaths. So shift your body into a posture that feels open and attentive and alert, ready to explore and create one more time together. Close the eyes if that feels comfortable and safe. If not, you can keep them open with a soft gaze. First, as always, I invite you to become aware that breath is flowing in and out of the body. You might return to that image that we tried out a couple of weeks ago of air flowing in through the nose, turning warm in your chest cavity and kind of taking on a golden hue, and then flowing out through the mouth. You might try a square breath, which we've done a couple of times, breathing in on a count of 4, holding for a count of 4, breathing out for a count of 4, and then holding for a count of 4. Or you might just try breathing. It's up to you, and I certainly trust your instincts. You know your body best. You know best what you need to enter into this creative space today. As we're entering our virtual Theatremaker workshop together for the last time, I would invite you to set an intention for the day, how you would like to be in this workshop today. And I invite you as well to set an intention for what your journey wants to be beyond this time. How do you want to continue engaging with theater making and with creative practice once the PASA virtual program is over? Set an intention for that. And as we're getting ready to come back together and play one more time, I invite you, as usual, to do a body scan, just directing your attention to different parts of your physicality and sending some healing and relaxing breath to areas that feel tight, areas that feel tense, areas that feel tired, and other areas that just need some extra love and attention, which we all need sometimes. Take a few more breaths on your own, and when you are ready, you can open your eyes, or if they've been open, you can redirect your focus back to the screen. So thank you for breathing with me to open one more time. What we're going to do today is we'll do a warm-up that kind of brings together lots of the different pieces of warm-ups that we've done at various times in the last 4 weeks. And then there was a sound outside my window that just caught my attention. After that, I'm going to share with you the tableau exercise, the stage picture exercise that I set out at the end of last time with my story, my opera about the Pokemon trainer that has a crush and has to hide his crush. And I have a twist which came to me in the last couple of days that I'm very excited to share with you. So I will share with you that stage picture exercise and reflect a little bit for you on how that creative process went for me. And then I will try just improvising it. I'll try improvising an opera about a Pokemon trainer who's falling in love by myself in my room. It's going to be really wacky, and I'm excited to share it with you. And then we'll spend a little bit of time at the end reflecting and sharing gratitude for this experience. All right, let's get going. Okay, so find yourself into an open spot in your room, a big space where you can move around, as big as you have in your space right now. We're going to start just with some stretches and rolling our neck side to side, and then all the way around. And going to the other side, taking care not to whip your neck around, but just to gently let it roll. Good, let your neck hang heavy. Try your best not to hold it up, but really let it hang. And let's start our first roll down here. And again, as we're coming down with hands on the floor, knees can be bent softly, trying to let as much of our weight be pulled down by gravity, trying not to hold ourselves up, but to really let ourselves be falling into the floor. And let all the junk in your head fall out at the same time. Let that fall out. Shake it out. Shake your head yes and no and yes and no. And let's roll up vertebrae by vertebrae slowly. Head will be the last thing to come up as shoulders go up and back. Head turns like a balloon on a stick. Good. Before we do our next roll down, let's do rolling our shoulders now. And in all of this, we're working to open our chest area, open our torso, so that we can use more of our resonators, more of our muscles to make compelling stories on stage. Shift directions. Good, and reach up as though you're grabbing an apple off a tree. Take a bite. Throw the apple away. And flop over. Letting yourself this time swing from side to side like a puppet on a string. Shake your head yes. Shake your head no. Yes. No. And slowly roll up. Good. Head side to side. Let's do a big yawn. A bigger one. Ready? And one more, the biggest you possibly can. Good, and let that be a siren. To get your voice warmed up. Okay. Shake out your hips a little bit. Get that moving around. That's an important part of our physicality on stage. Cool. And let's do some breathing, especially for me since I'm improvising an opera today. I need to warm up my voice. So remember that having our hands pressed into our sides just below our rib cage can allow us to feel our diaphragm expand when we breathe, like that. And remember, when we get to the top of our breath, breathing in, then we're going to hiss out, and we're going to imagine expanding to counteract the actual contraction that our body is going to want to do. So breathing in, and good. Breathing in. Good. This time we're going to do breathe in and which is going to get us to kind of hit our diaphragm 3 times. So breathing in. Let all the air out. Breathe in again. All the air out. One more time. Breathe in. Good. Repeat after me and use as much of your diaphragm as you can. Try not to get this coming from your throat, but really coming from your belly. Ready? Hey! Try that. Hey! Good. Hey you! Try that. Hey you! Try this one. Hey you over there! Try that. Hey you over there! Nice. Now that one I felt go up into my throat because I wasn't breathing that second time. I was paying attention to what you might be doing and I lost track of my breath. So that's okay. When that happens, the more we can become aware that our energy has shifted up into using our voice box up here and getting all of the sound out this way rather than the sound from here. Just noticing that, taking a breath, and trying again. Hey, you over there! That was better. I could feel that more here than here. So just, be aware of that as you're practicing your vocalizing to take note. Let's do some of our tongue twisters. So the ones that we have done are red leather, yellow leather, good blood, bad blood, and Sarah sitting in a Chevrolet. I think there was one time where I recorded another one and I didn't actually end up using it. So let's just do those 3. Red leather, yellow leather, and good blood, bad blood go together. So we'll do that, and then we'll do Sarah. Okay? And using remember that exercise we've done with the gum, where we're chewing to get all of our articulators going? That's what we're using to make these sounds come out with accuracy and precision. So here we go. Red leather, yellow leather, good blood, bad blood. 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 2 more times. Red leather, yellow leather, good blood, bad blood. Red leather, yellow leather, good blood, bad blood. Awesome. I keep getting mixed up with that. I want to say blad blood. So I just have to remember as I'm practicing that, red leather, yellow leather, good blood, bad blood. And I have a tendency, I don't know about y'all, but I have a tendency to rush. I want to be able to do everything perfectly right away. So if I notice that I'm getting sloppy in my articulation, then I can encourage myself to do it slowly, to step back, do it slowly and correctly before I start to go fast again. So let's actually do that one more time, and let's model stepping back and doing it slowly. Here we go. Red leather, yellow leather, good blood, bad blood. 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 So that's modeling. This is something that I struggle with, honestly, but that's modeling effective practice technique, is rather than jumping ahead and just trying to get to the end result, even if you didn't do it correctly. Spending some time to really get the effect you're looking for before speeding up and getting to the desired result at the end is actually going to serve you better because it's going to build your muscle memory to make that happen. So let's do Sarah sitting in a Chevrolet. Sarah sitting in a Chevrolet. Sarah sitting in a Chevrolet. All day long she sits and shifts and sits and sits and shifts. Sarah sitting in a Chevrolet. Hey! Good, and use that hey to come from your diaphragm. One more time, a little faster. Here we go. Sarah sitting in a Chevrolet. Sarah sitting in a Chevrolet. All day long she sits and shifts and sits and sits and shifts. Sarah sitting in a Chevrolet. Hey! Awesome. So let's do a fast 5. Top 5 things you would want to see in your dreams. I would want to see a monster. 1, I would want to see a thing that I can use to brush my teeth better. 2, I would want to see a kind of towel creature. 3, I would want to see some strawberries that are growing upside down. 4, and I would want to see the skull of a little Mickey Mouse. 5, awesome. What about you? Top 5 things you would want to see in your dreams. Go! I'm cheering you on. I'm cheering you on. You got it! Yes! Awesome. So keep doing that. Keep doing that with friends. Keep doing that with family members. It's a fun thing to just kind of ask someone like, top 5 things, say it now, and then like support them with enthusiastic cheering as they go. Let's do our thing. Let's start with our ball in our hand. This is from the miming exercise that we did, where we want to really shape the active space to really give the illusion that I have a ball in my hand. And remember, it depends on me really following the trajectory of the ball as it goes to give the illusion that I didn't lose it, right? So if I just toss it and then, oh, I just get it over here, that's kind of defying the logic for the viewer. So make sure that we're doing it in a way where it really seems to leave one hand and then get into the other. Let's reshape this ball, stretch it out a little bit. I'm going to send it to you. Ready? And receive it. And you send it back to me. Nice. I'm going to expand it a little bit. Ready? This is really going to be heavy. Here you go. Good. Okay, send it back to me. Whoa. Okay, nice. I'm going to squeeze it into a tiny little ball. And I'm going to try a different way of throwing it. Ready? Whoosh. Nice. Send it back. So my thing just froze, which I think is a great cue from Photo Booth that it's time to get rid of this warm up and move on. So let's just take a moment to laugh at the fact that we froze. Give another laugh. One more. I had a clown teacher recently, I think I was telling you about, who had as one of our first activities, he had us just talk about our problems, whatever was going on, and just laugh about them. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, I'm trying to record this thing by myself on YouTube, and it won't even work. And see if you don't feel a little different with respect to the problems that you have if you try laughing about them. So, okay, I'm going to share with you some of the images that I'm coming to, the stage pictures that I'm coming to for my opera about the Pokemon trainer. And I stepped off screen because I want to show you the story structure again. So one of the things I didn't totally talk about last time, but maybe should have talked about a little bit more, is that in Act 1 of the story, we really just want to get a sense of what the kind of normal world is that we're walking into. So what the, who the character is normally, what they normally do, what the kind of normal rules of this world are before the conflict starts. So I think I might have misspoke a little bit last time. The conflict really becomes present in Act 2. And then Act 3 is where we have the resolution. So as I was thinking about this over the last couple of days, I realized, I was like, oh, Well, that's perfect. If it's a 3-act structure, and I gave the assignment that we should try to get 5 stage pictures in this tableau exercise, then why not have Act 1 be Image 1, so just getting a sense of the ordinary world that this character exists in. Have images 2, 3, and 4, or stage pictures 2, 3, and 4, be Act 2, where the conflict becomes really important. And then have stage picture 5 be Act 3, where the conflict gets resolved and we see how the character or the world has changed. So what I also want to highlight is that accidentally I did something that I think is really valuable that I want to share with you, which is that accidentally I took a break of a couple of days between when I last recorded this video, or when I last recorded a video for this series, and then when I'm recording this one today. And normally I take a break of a day or two, but I had someone coming into town, and so I had a longer break than usual because I was busy with something else. And in taking that break, rather than just like driving straight through with whatever half-formed idea I had on Tuesday when I recorded the last video, if I had just like driven straight through and tried to do this last video then, or even tried to do it the next day, I'm not sure that I would have arrived at the structure that I've now arrived at. Sometimes when we're in creative process, taking a break and like really taking a break and not thinking about it for a couple of days can actually be the recipe for jumbling that stuff up in a way that's really helpful. So I'm excited to share with you with the structure that I actually have now. And I'm going to use, as we did last time for my stage picture, I'm going to use my own body, obviously, to take a shape. But I'm also going to use the chairs in my space to show relationships of power, because that's what we were exploring last time. Okay, this is try number 3. Woohoo! So I'm going to show you my stage pictures for my opera about the Pokemon trainer, and then we'll take a little moment after, and I'll give you some time to reflect on what you saw, what kinds of things, what kinds of storytelling choices you saw me make, maybe some ways in which I can make them more strong. And then I'll share with you kind of what I was thinking. And then I'll just try making it into an opera. We'll see what happens. Okay? So here is stage picture 1. Okay. Stage picture 2. I need to shift my thing here. Okay, stage picture 3. Nope. Let me try that one again. Stage picture 3. Okay. Stage picture 4. I'm going to shift this again. And stage picture 5. Okay, so I would invite you to take a moment. I'm not going to sit on my character here because this is no longer a chair. This is a character. Take a moment, think about it, maybe write something down, make a sketch. What did you see? How did I tell whatever story I was trying to tell? You don't have to have found it successful, but what information did you get? And that's, really more importantly and more interestingly than whether or not someone did something good or bad is what information did they get across? What story did they tell? How did they communicate? And from there, depending on if that's what the person intended to communicate or not, that's how we assess if something is good or bad. So take that time. I'm going to take a breath. And a drink of water because it's really hot in here. Okay, so I wish I could hear what information you got, but you're welcome to tell me in comments. But I will tell you a little bit about my process. So the things that I was thinking about for how to tell this story that I wanted to tell in 5 images, 5 stage pictures, was I wanted to play with height. Remember, that's something that we've been exploring, is how high and how low your body is. I wanted to play with height, and I wanted to use height and other pieces of physicality, also maybe kind of tightness versus a more rounded or softer softer display of physicality. I wanted to use those 2 things to show differences in power relationships over the course of the 5 pictures. So I'm not going to tell you the whole plot, the whole story that I had in my mind, because I'm going to do that for you in just a minute with improvising this opera. But I do want to share with you that in my mind, and you'll see if, did you get this from me or did you not get this from me? In my mind, what I was trying to convey was that this character, this Pokemon trainer, goes from having one relationship of power with respect to this character to having a different relationship of power to this character by the end. And that's what the change of the story is. So here goes, with no real preparation other than just improvising and saying yes and. Here goes the debut performance of Pokemon Trainer, the opera. Ooh, I'm going to come in from my entrance. Remember how I have this entrance over here? So I'm going to come in. Gotta catch 'em all, got to catch them all. I've got to catch the Pokemon because that is my job and my passion. Gotta catch 'em all, gotta catch 'em all. Got to catch all the Pokemon in this little Pokeball. Because I see myself as having power over them. They are small little creatures that need my help to be trained, to be able to participate in the fighting game that I want to play with them. Here is a little specimen. This is my new Pokemon. What do I feel? I have never felt this way before. What do I feel? I have never felt this way before. I tried to open this Pokeball so that I could capture this Pokemon, as I have done many times before. But what am I feeling now? I think I'm feeling love, 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 love. What is it like to feel love for something that you think you should be able to have power over? I don't want to feel that way, because I don't think that love is something where people have power over each other. I must change, I must change, I must change. How can I show this little Pokemon that I want to have a different relationship to it? I will bow my head and show them the Pokeball, to say this is yours if you want it, but I do not want to have power over you. I just want to love you. And once I gave my Pokeball to the Pokemon, we then started to Rearrange the world so that everyone could love who they want and no one had power over anyone anymore. Ha, ha, ha. Pokemon. Yay! I made an opera. It was totally crazy. Woohoo! Okay, wait. And a really important thing after you make something is to take a bow and soak in some gratitude and appreciation for the play that you just engaged in, the work that you just engaged in. So I'm going to take that moment for myself, breathing in, breathing out, and a sigh. So at the very beginning of this course, this program, a couple of weeks ago, I said that the last thing we would do would be to make some change and then to let it be. I felt very nervous earlier this week when I knew that I had set myself up to have to improvise an opera on this last day. I got really tight. I wanted to make sure I did something good. I wanted to do something that you would like, that you would find funny or interesting, and that it wouldn't be bad. And not surprisingly enough, that totally resonates with all of my hopes and fears that I articulated on our very first day together, right? I said that I was really afraid that no one would watch the videos. I thought people would find them silly or boring, and I was really afraid of that. And I was afraid that I was going to run out of interesting ideas and that I wouldn't be able to do this very well. But I also hoped that people watching these videos and myself would feel empowered to make creative choices by experimenting together. And I hoped that I would grow in my own courage and that this experience would inspire me to keep practicing my theater practice. And the agreements that I made with myself, as much as these fears never disappeared, the agreements that I made with myself did actually help me to see them through, right? And to see my hopes through. I said that I would always set aside time in my week to make these videos with a clear heart and mind. And I agreed that I would push back on the voice in my head that tells me my ideas are stupid. I agreed that I would try things out anyway. So earlier this week when I was feeling really tight and I knew that my friend was coming to visit, who, by the way, got a COVID test. So it's okay that this person is coming to visit. They tested themselves out before they got here. I was worried. I was like, well, I have to do this quickly, right? Like I have to get it done right now. But I knew that I didn't have a clear heart and mind. And so I honored my own agreement to say, no, I'm going to wait until Friday when this person would be spending some time outside of the house. And I could make it with a clear heart and mind. And there were many times in the midst of that performance that I just did for you where I was like, this is really dumb. I just don't know what's happening here. But I pushed back and I said, that's not valuable to me right now. It's more important to me to just get through the through line of this opera and really make it happen, right? And that was a 5-minute performance. Probably not going to go in the Live Performance Hall of Fame, but that's part of the joy of it, is I made it. I just made it, and now I'm letting it go. And I can come back to it sometime if I want to try it again and expand it. Or I can just say, wow, what a great practice. I just practiced making an opera in 5 minutes, and I loved it, and now I can let it go. So I invite you in the space after we finish this video to take some time to journal, go on a walk, and talk to yourself out loud. What has this experience been like for you over the last 4 weeks? What are the things that have really stood out? What has felt most supportive for you? And what do you want to do going forward? For me, I have the intention to really continue to follow through on those agreements and to continue just trying to make things in small increments. Even a 5-minute performance is so nourishing to my soul and my spirit in a way that doing no performance and no creation over the course of a day never is, right? So just taking a couple of minutes to make something and then let it go really, really nourishes me. I hope that you've had the experience of this being nourishing for you as well. And I hope that if you want to stay connected to me, I'll post my email on the Edmodo so that you can send me a note if you want. I hope that you will stay connected to PASA. I hope that you'll stay connected to the Glitter Goddess Collective. We have a lot of things going on right now. So look us up on Instagram at the Glitter Goddesses. That's what we are on Instagram, at the Glitter Goddesses. I'll put that in the note as well. And with that, I'm going to invite us into our last set of closing breaths. Thank you so much for being with me on this journey over the last 4 weeks. So grateful to have shared this with you. So coming to an open posture, eyes closed if that feels comfortable and safe, eyes open with a soft gaze if it doesn't. We will take our 4 closing breaths. A breath first for the ancestors each of us brings to this space and the indigenous people that were here before colonization. Breathing in and out. A breath to thank yourself for your practice today. Breathing in and out. A breath to thank others for their support. I really feel your support. Breathing in and out. And a breath for the intentions and well-being of everyone in the PASA community and everyone in your circle of family and friends and loved ones. Breathing in and out. The loving and creative human in me celebrates the loving and creative human in you. Thank you so much for sharing this experience with me. May you continue to create. May you continue to find the joy and the light inside of you and bring it out into the world. Until we meet again, stay safe, y'all.